Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. If you're new, if you're not new, welcome back. I'm Dee Christine, and in this video I wanted to set up my July budget. Yes, I know July has already started. Yes, I know, I think it's like July 11th today, but here we are. So I did get a kit from PlannerKate for this spread because last month I absolutely loved it, and I'll show you a peek at what June ended up looking like for the most part. And I just absolutely loved how this came out, and I kind of, you know, did some tracking, not too much tracking, but I loved how the kit worked with this book, which by the way is the Erin Condren Every Little Bit Counts budget book. And yeah, so I wanted to get July set up so I can cruise through the rest of the month, and hopefully August I'll be a little bit more prepared. Also, a disclaimer, I think I'm going to call this like a variable low income budget with me, for the simple fact that I am going to be, for the month of July, I have been relying solely on my business income, no paycheck. I am in the process of being aligned with a new day job, and so this in between month is where we are right now. And so I'm going to be not only using this book differently for July, but I believe I'm probably going to be switching around how I track things in this planner for August as well. So if you're not subscribed, you definitely want to be subscribed, because I am definitely like a make it do what you need it to do type of person, and I love finding new ways to use this book and all of my planners. So this is what it looks like, blank, unmodified. It has this month's financial goals and some lists and a blank area, and then bills and financial dates and deadlines for the month, as long as what you need to restock on and large purchases. I have never used this page the way that it's been printed, and that's okay. This page, however, I only make one or two small modifications as to how I use these two pages, and some of them I'm actually not going to end up changing, whereby in the past I have. And then of course after that you have weekly spending and things like that. So I'm gonna go through how I set this up so that I can carry on for the rest of the month. So you should definitely grab your planner, grab some coffee, which I didn't and I should have, and let's get into this budget. So like I said, I have a PlannerKate kit, more than one kit, and so I'm gonna leave in the description box the name of this kit. It's kit 531 in the A5 size, and I have the daily duo and the monthly kit, as well as some deco and some daily duo boxes. And then I also got some budget shells, which typically, as I understand it, is designed to be used on blank A5 pages, but that's not how I use it, and I'm gonna still be making some changes. And then lastly, as you guys know, I create my own calendar on my computer, and I print it out on sticker paper and I cut it out just to give me a visual for me to calendarize my expenses, of which I have a few. I have fewer than I have in the past. So this calendar is going to end up going right here. And I actually did a pretty good job matching the color. It's a little small, but nothing some deco can't fix. And so I'm almost tempted to like just leave it like this because the blue is so pretty, but This kit is pretty, okay? So I'm gonna be using that. I also have some freebies, just a few, just in case I need a couple of extra boxes and icons and ribbons, all of which will be in the description box as well. And some transparent, in the mini size, transparent circle stickers, which I'll be using on this calendar. And what else do I have? So if I have time, I will go jump into my compact vertical, because in the past I had a dual system for my budget. I would calendarize my expenses in my daily duo and then lay out the actual financials in this book. So my emphasis is always going to be on cash flow. So no, I don't really do cash envelopes, but I do have multiple bank accounts that I use, kind of like jars. I'm always kind of trying to identify and project my cash flow, especially in months like these when I'm living off of variable income only. So without further ado, let's get started. I hope this video won't be too long, but I am going to try to like not trying not to rush through everything. So I have this A5 monthly dashboard kit, and in the past I just cut off the month and used it as this header, which I may or may not do. I also consider turning this sideways because, you know, I like a little sideways, you know what I'm saying, tab title, so to speak, but it seems like it's going to be a little small. And then I also have this large box down here, which I can use for habit tracking. So give me a minute, I'm gonna think about this, and then we're gonna start getting this set up. So I think what I want to do instead is I'm going to just use some of this washi on the top, because I really love how June came out, but I am kind of craving a little bit more like visual space, so that the things that need to pop out can pop out. And so I think what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to just change this blue, and I want to make sure that I don't want to have to cut off too much. So yeah. Yes, so I have that down. So I am going to think about what I'm going to use for the title. I might just use like a script, one of the monthly scripts if I have an extra one for the title. I'm going to have to look for that, but I'm going to look for that in a second. But for this sticker, I'm going to see, will it fit? Okay, close enough, close enough. And then this one will be for the other side. So I normally use the compact vertical kit, but this, for some reason, this kit did not come in the A5 compact vertical size, so I had to defer to the daily duo size. Why am I doing this to myself? Which I think actually can work just as well. The sizing is a little bit different. I found that the compact vertical has the best sizing. It has the absolute best sizing to complement this book. But we're gonna see how it goes. We're gonna see how it goes. And now I use these two boxes for like goals and action steps. So having this space up here can work really well. And let's see, I think instead I'm going to defer to leaving this as is, because I just kind of need to think about it. You know, the month is half over, so it's really not that serious. I just don't want to, you know, like waste stickers or white out when I don't need to. So instead I'm going to put my calendar down. Okay, again, not exact, only for the fact that I cut it a little closer than I should have, so it came out a little small. Somebody did ask me if I would have all of these, any of these for sale, and I am thinking about it. I'm trying to consider which way would make it the best value for everyone. And then at the same time, I still feel like I'm perfecting the size. So it'll be a lot easier when I have a Cricut or something and I'm not like, you know, cutting it with a paper cutter and scissors and so on. So I'm definitely looking out for those of you. I think there's only like 3 of us that use this this budget book, it feels like. So I'm going to go ahead and create some titles with some of these washi strips. Now last month I did some habit tracking and I had a mini to-do list here, but that was contingent on me having the compact vertical kit. And so because I don't have that kit, I think I'm going to use another one of these strips. And I'm going to just create a header here. And then I'm going to find a lined box from one of these sticker books that I have in my stash and write an affirmation, because I'm definitely like managing my self-talk about all areas of my life, and this is no different. And so I much rather use it for something that's going to kind of like motivate me a bit and something that I can see every time I open my budget to check in. So I'm gonna think about that off camera and come up with an affirmation. I'll probably share it on Instagram, and if you're not following me over there, you definitely should. And for this one, since these lines are so narrow and I definitely want to maximize the space, I'm going to use a thin washi here for this header. And I like it. It's looking cute and kind of like airy, and it's definitely a vibe. I'm digging it. Did I get, yes, I got it. Okay, so this is the basic setup. So I'm gonna put my dates, my build dates down using those transparent circle stickers I showed you guys earlier, and then we'll talk. Okay, so crazy enough, I honestly think that's it for this month. This is a good month to be on my variable income, and I'm going to explain to you guys what these 3 dates are. And like I said, in the past I had a lot more. This month I really only have 4 main bills, which is great. And so on this side, I normally would keep this as like a log of something, And so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this to track like income, so I can kind of get a running total. So there's an income label here, but it's next to estimated and budget and actual and things that I personally don't use. And so I'm going to just very carefully cut this down. See if that worked. Yep, got it. Okay, so this is going to be for income, and it's a little off-centered, but I got something for that. The words on the sticker itself are a little off-center, but like I said, I have something for that. And now to talk about what my goals are. So, I pre-planned this. I did some thinking about it. So I have an idea of what I want my goals to be, and I will be using these 2 boxes to do that. So for my first goal, and I did not think to white out or cover these titles. I don't know if I want to use any more stickers as the headers, so I think I am going to white it out, and your girl got white out this time. So I'm just gonna white this out. Perfect. And so now talking about goals. I'm gonna grab my favorite pen in the world, a Pilot G2 in navy, and we're gonna lay out these goals. Okay, so my first goal, and I only really have two main focuses for this month, and it's pretty much going to be to plot out my future charges, because I put this in my year at a glance, but I hadn't really looked back at it. And long story short, I recorded a planner audit kind of flip through for the first half of the year, which unfortunately I don't think I saved enough of it to be able to put it together in a video that makes sense, but I still got the benefit of realizing that I had laid out some future charges for the end of the year, like throughout the year, and I didn't actually put post-its and things to remind me that, oh, these things are coming out. So they felt like surprise charges, but I knew. I just didn't put the post-its down. So I want to take some time to go through my year at a glance and isolate my business expenses and things. It's coming out of a separate account. Everything's fine. It's not really messing anything up, but I do want to be aware. And I'm so used to kind of like having, like, you know, the business account, things just kind of like come out and it is what it is. But especially because my personal budget is now kind of wrapped up in my business budget and income, I want to make sure that I'm aware of what transactions are going to be coming out even after next month, so I can kind of like put post-its in my budget planner and even on my monthly spread, so that I'm aware of what charges are coming out. So that's going to be my first goal. Okay, so I want to plan out future expenses. So for this box, I thought I had a plain color dot to match it. I think this one will work fine. And I want to plot out 3 things. And I'm gonna give that a minute to dry because I cannot with the smearing, you guys. Absolutely cannot. Okay, so I want to plan out domain renewals, hosting fees, and annual subscriptions. So for a lot of people, they're paying to be hosted, but I am a reseller, so I also sell hosting as one of my streams of income. And so there are quarterly charges for that I'm always kind of like aware of, but not. And so I want to leave myself reminders for those things. And then my annual subscriptions. Please forgive the amount of like New York summertime noise happening in the back. It cannot be helped. I try to be Mr. Softy out all the time. I always lose. So anyway, so I'm going to be tracking these 3 things throughout my planner, especially in my budget book, but also kind of like little reminders for myself in my compact vertical as well. So this goal is going to be to find a remote position. This is still one of my goals. And there are some things that are kind of like a subset of that. I might even split this. I don't know. I gotta think about it. Okay, so these are my two goals. This is gonna stay blank. I will fill in the income I've already received later because I'm gonna have to go like look it up. I just kind of got this idea as I was getting my stickers together. So I'm gonna go back and fill this in with all the income I've received so far. And then I'll probably put the date, the source, and then run the balance down here. It's not intuitive, but I just don't feel like drawing and creating a column down here. I know it's kind of like lazy, but I don't care. I don't want to do it. So I'm not going to do it. This is going to be for the running total. And then I'll just make sure I put the date and the source and run it down. So, like I said, I'm going to put an affirmation here, which I will most likely add later. If I think about it before I leave my planning space, I will add that in as a separate clip. And then here should be more about like things that I want to like buy this month. I would say it's probably going to end up being things that I want to make sure that I purchase this month. So right now I don't have anything in mind that I personally have to buy, but still, it's okay to have empty spaces in your planner to leave room for things to develop. So I'm gonna leave this here for now. If I find a better or like better sticker for that, then I will take care of that. And then typically what I will do, which I'm going to do here, the bill that was due on the 1st has already been paid, so I just put a check mark in the box. That's pretty much it. That's it. And then I can kind of just see at a glance what has been paid. So now we're going to move on to the next page. This page, and this is the meat and potatoes, okay? This is where all the magic happens. So it's time to pull out the budget shells. So I have this sheet here where the title says budgets, and then I also have a bunch of transaction logs. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to actually use this header for this page. It's perfect. It's perfect. I probably could zhuzh this down a little bit, or maybe I'll just cut it a little bit, because it is, running into the coil a little bit, and I don't want the flipping to become an issue later on. So I'll go ahead and snip this down. Yeah, okay. All right, y'all. So now I typically don't use these two columns the way that they're laid out. I guess some people would put like business income, paycheck, Etsy, YouTube. I don't do it that way because honestly I'm kind of tracking more than what this feels comfortable doing. So I'm going to put the weeks down here, the pay periods down here, and then each column will be dedicated to one of the income sources. And then on this side, I have, like I said, multiple accounts. So I would do check-ins beginning of the month, middle of the month, end of the month, and then I have my 4 main accounts that I track going down this list as far as savings. But before I do that, this is why I bought these dashed labels. Hopefully they fit, because before they were for the they were from the compact vertical kit, which is a little bit wider. But nevertheless, let's see if we can get all of these kind of like down. I'm a little disappointed, only for the fact that for the compact vertical kits, these dashed lines are a little bit wider. Like they fit in these boxes like perfectly. So keep that in mind. You definitely want to, if you're going to try this, you definitely want to get a compact vertical kit, the dashed lines that go with the kit, and they will create perfect headers for you for these different areas here. But it's fine. Like I said, the month is half over, okay? So look, listen, it's not a big deal, but it's just good to know moving forward. So normally I would cover all of these, and you know what, I think I might, since I have so many extra, like I had the wisdom of not having enough of these for the last budget. So I did the right thing. I bought 2 sheets, but they're actually not long enough. But since I'm going to use them anyway, we might as well go ahead and use them. It's cool. Now, the only ones I don't really use all that often, like I don't use them down here. I have to think about how I'm going to use it differently next month. So I usually would not put anything over them. Yeah, I usually wouldn't put anything over them. And I don't want to like front like I do. I don't. So I'm trying to think, like, should I see if I have something to go over them? Maybe I should put like a little one of these washi headers. I might just go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and round it out and kind of just cover this. Okay, so that's as close as I can get it. That's gonna have to do, okay? So let's get these columns ironed out. Okay, so this is what it's looking like. So I have my different accounts down there with the check-in dates that I check in specifically on the balances on these accounts, not necessarily checking in on my budget overall. And then over here, unfortunately, the tab is the tab is in the way. The lamination is preventing me from writing on this area, and I just don't want it to get rubbed off. So I had to kind of like make an adjustment. So this is like July 14th through the 20th, and this is from the 21st through the end of the month, which would be like the 31st or whatever the case is. So now let's get these bills down. So like you saw before, I have 3 like fixed bills, but I still have a bunch of variable expenses to consider. So I'm gonna get all of that down now. Phew-wee. You guys see how many subscriptions I have? Lord Jesus. Okay, so that was pretty much the bulk of it. Every month I do something different with these boxes. I did forget to put my cards in. I'm going to write these down, even though they kind of got paid off already, but I still just want to keep track of what they are. and this used to take up 2 columns, but now they don't. And let me just take a quick look at last month. Am I forgetting anything? Okay, so I do usually put like a this month. So I'm gonna put that here. And then this was, I usually just call it installments. Let me go ahead and do this. As you see, like, I need my wrist to be level. Okay, and then for installments, normally it would be a student loan, which I think is supposed to kick in October. But for right now, it's 0. And then I also have I think I also have like Afterpay. And I believe that's $50. All right, getting somewhere. So what did I use these for last month? I actually didn't use these bottom 2 columns, which again, sometimes I do need it, sometimes I don't. So like fun stuff, it's gonna be 200. Planning, I'm gonna try to keep it to 100. Hair is probably going to be, I'm gonna say 100. I like to overestimate my expenses and underestimate my income. And then my nails, I'm going to leave this blank for right now until I figure it out. I see the time is approaching, but because I'm dealing with variable income, if I gotta skip a session, then I'll skip a session, because I try not to do like I'll try to make my nails last as long as possible, knowing I also have to get my hair done, just to kind of balance things out a little bit. So as you see, I also have eating out and Uber Eats as different, because eating out is like going out to a restaurant or going out to a food fair, and then like Uber Eats is like ordering takeout, like ordering in. So for groceries, I'm gonna put 200. For eating out, I'm going to put 150. And for Uber Eats, I'm going to put 100. Do I think I'm gonna spend all that and we're gonna be eating all that? Probably not. The last couple of months I had that as like the budget kind of, and it just did not happen. So this month I do have a birthday. My boo's birthday is this month. I'm gonna budget 60 so I can send her something like a little edibles arrangements or something cute like that. And I feel like that's pretty much it for this page. So the last thing I like to do, which I kind of have some preliminary numbers already, but I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to add up. I like to put the total for each category either at the bottom or at the top, usually at the top when I have space. But because this is not going all the way over, this is why I pulled out like my little handy dandy freebies. I might use these to kind of like put the total there so I can see them. Let's get this added up. Okay, that was pretty easy. And so now let me go ahead and I just like to note for myself total expenses in this column down here. And so let me go ahead and get that together. Okay, so we're looking at 2,827, and what I'm going to do, because there's one last piece before we go over to the transaction page. Okay, so here's the last thing that I do, and I'm going to end up using a different color since most of this spread is red. I use a clean color dot to create little boxes, little circles rather. Yep, this is coming out a little greener than it used to be, but it's fine. And I'm going to create little dots here. So that I can check off when they've been paid. Okay, I used to also put, when I'm expecting income, I will put dots here to check off when it's cleared into my account. But like I said, no paycheck this month. Everything will be more back to normal next month. So I did this because now I have to look through and go through what's already been paid, because some of these things were paid before July, and so this number is not truly accurate. So let's reconcile. Okay, so I'm gonna have to confirm once again once I finish. I probably should have checked before, which I normally do. I just didn't do it this time. So 2827 okay, so the number is actually 2342 pending any changes. Some things probably already came out today as well. So I'm just gonna leave myself a little note to double check. So these subscriptions, like they're in their own account, and I fund the account once a month so that it's not like a bunch of microtransactions coming out my account. I don't like that. So I have all of my subscriptions coming out of one account, and then once a month, usually it would be in the beginning of the month, I will take this number and I'll just put it in my account and turn my back and know that all my subscriptions are paid. And I feel like that is a happy in between if you're not really in a position to pay annual for everything, and maybe you don't want to be where I am, where next year you're like, oh crap, I forgot this was an annual subscription. Also sinking funds if you know you're doing that. But my compromise, because my income is variable and because I want to be in control of, like, okay, maybe I need to cancel some, or you know, like I don't want a whole bunch of annual subscriptions coming out all at once. I have a couple of annual subscriptions, and then the rest they come out of one account, and then once a month I would treat it like a bill, and I would take a portion of my income and fund my subscriptions bank account so that all of these can come out. That's just how I do it. You don't have to do it. That's just how I do it. So right now the number is $23.42. Okay, so like I said, I'm going to log all of my income so far for the month here, which has obviously been used to pay for some of this already, and then I will put them where they belong. And now I think we can turn to the transaction pages. So I'm obviously not going to fill out the transactions. I need to log into my bank account, and all of that. But what I can do is kind of set up the transaction logs for each page. So let's do that. All right, all set up. One last thing, I am going to put paycheck here. And paycheck 2 here. It seems like it's been like one per page. And then paycheck 3, which is really like pay period. Make sure that's straight. And then paycheck 4. And maybe later on I'll come up with uses for these other stickers. I'm happy to have them. Oh, paycheck 5. Why not? I don't think this is a magic month, but it's fine. And then these stickers are removable, so if I find that one of my weeks takes up more than one page, I can always just lift this up and assign it to another week and make it do what it do. So why is this not coming out straight? Okay, hold on. Calm down, girl. It's gonna be all right. Okay, still not straight, but it's fine. So this is my July setup. One thing I hadn't done, which I'm gonna do now, is I need to put a month. I just have to put like at least a little month or something on my overview. So give me 1 second. I think I have one right here. Phew, y'all, I almost didn't find it, but I found it. So I'm gonna throw that up there. That looks cute. I like it. And yeah, did I put any deco? I did not put any deco on here. So let's take a minute and put a little bit of deco. Okay, I think that's it for me for the deco. This is even more than what I might put where I write, but because these labels, the stickers are a little bit short, I was like, why not? We can throw a little extra razzle dazzle on top. So I want to thank you guys so much for joining me as I set up my July budget. If you enjoyed the video, please consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribing and hitting the notification bell for more planning content. Go ahead and follow me on Instagram over at HoneyStyleAndJoy. And other than that, I hope you guys have a beautiful, beautiful, wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one.